Every time Brawl Stars seems to be going on a promising route, they manage to get a new blunder to ruin everything. And this case is no different. It all started one grateful day when Brawl Stars decided to add a new rarity. Many players were excited, thinking it's the exotic rarity concept they've been thinking of for long, because of the extreme abundance of mythics. Since they take a third of the game, they thought this new rarity would finally fix the problem. However, Brawl Stars proved them wrong while introducing a new rarity, Ultra Legendary, which by the name you can guess is above Legendary. The player base was shocked because, first of all, how much would the Brawler cost in credits and early access, and especially how complicated would the Brawler be, because when you have a Brawler with 4 attacks and 5 supers is just Legendary, what could an Ultra Legendary be? The answer is Kaze, a Brawler with 4 gadgets, star powers and 2 hypercharges. You don't have to pay each one individually, but they change depending on the forms. The majority of our mechanics, though stolen and refined from other brawlers, were so complicated that players didn't even care about the other brawler released, Young, the mythic brawler. Many claimed it was just a greedy attempt for Supercell to get money, with the most upvoted post of the year being this one with 13.6k upvotes. The developers knew they had to take action quickly to distract the player base and calm them down from this shocking news, because for once Brawl Stars seemed to have the same fate as Clash Royale, as Clash Royale had the whole removal of chests update and progression nerf. So they nerfed Melody's height, and sadly their distraction attempt was successful. The meme blew up. Frank let the whole Know Your Meme website use the meme, and anyone who dared to talk about Ultra Legendary would be considered a boomer. And when the meme finally died after Brawl Stars almost reverted Melody's height, sadly the player base's perspective towards Ultra Legendary was way less strict, with people saying it could actually improve the game, others saying the opposite. One of the biggest problems with this rarity is that it would bring extremely complicated mechanics to the game, and the only concepts I could find of Ultra Legendary was this glyph guy who literally copies his opponent using his mirror, and this schoolgirl concept Sakurenpai, whose stats can be modified at will. Luckily for the player base, Kaze would not be released the same month of the Brawl talk, rather than that the next month, so that people would actually have a chance to grind to get Kaze, who by the way costed 5,500 credits, or 999 gems. And on the 27th of May, Brawl Stars put the early access bundle for $60 whole. Many started comparing Kaze to a full game that can be purchased. Some even took the 69% discount into consideration. And another problem this rarity creates is gatekeeping free-to-plays from playing the game, especially ones who are close to get a new brawler, as they would have to stop playing the game or else they would get credits from a star drop or sushi. So you had two choices: either get the new Ultra Legendary brawler, buy credits and stop playing the game, or get the Kenji skins and miss out on this crazy new brawler. And another thing about the early access bundle, which was quite surprising, is the fact that it included progression gates kept in money. If you see right here, we pause right here and we find out this is Kaze's mastery pin, unlockable at gold 1, but it was included in this early access bundle. Not a lot of people noticed this because of the sheer amount of pins Kaze has, so this was probably a sneaky attempt from Brawl Stars to slowly start including progression related stuff other than resources to their bundles. Not even Clash Royale dared to put, for example, a new card whose mastery points are upgraded, for example, already at level 4. And the calamities of the early access bundle for Kaze do not stop here, because another thing that's related to progression, this one is related to resources, was included in the bundle. If you buy Kaze for the terrifying $60, you wouldn't just get a gadget to immediately swap, you would also have her Power 11 already. This move was straight up replicated from Clash Royale, who did this many times, for example with the Goblin Machine, as they would put an early access bundle to have the card immediately maxed out. And the pricing difference was also done in Clash Royale, so if you see that the early access bundle's price differs from country to country, this is not coincidence. As of the time of speaking, it has been 2 days since Kaze's early access launch offer, and people are still flooding Reddit with the same posts concerning Kaze's price and giving suggestions about other things you could do with $60. And also, the brawler herself is already broken, but not in the casual sense. For example, Kit, who was the most expensive early access brawler before Kaze, at half the price, as in $30. Since Kaze requires quote-unquote high skill, and her quote-unquote skill ceiling is also high, unlike Kit on release, who would just get 6 cubes and he could wipe out the whole lobby. However, this argument itself is pretty weak, because this is pretty much the opposite case of Miko or Edgar on release, although they were free brawlers. Basically, the community would think they're overpowered, especially with Miko's concept, but then they slowly started to adapt, understanding how to time their hits to actually do damage to Miko. Suddenly, Miko was no longer the overpowered menace he seemed to be. Kaze's case will be the opposite, as people would just try to give excuses to make her not sound broken by saying she requires high skill. They will slowly adapt and learn the brawler, because with patience and practice, you can learn anything. That was corny, but anyways. So, players will get used to Kaze, and they will understand the sheer power that she wields. Then they would demand emergency nerfs. Not really emergency at this case, because it would take months for players to even unlock this crazy brawler, and it would take even longer to actually understand the brawler, which gives Brawl Stars the right and the excuse of not nerfing her too fast, since the players would claim it was an overreaction. And that's it with the video. I hope that Brawl Stars, instead of making the brawler broken to justify the price, they should add more resources to the bundle, especially coins, because the coin shortage will pretty much never leave the game unless they try to do gold rush events like Clash Royale, who pretty much doesn't need them because of their gold inflation, and Clash of Clans, or they could even do the hammer jam stuff where everything is priced to half. Although Brawl Stars will mostly not do this, because although players complain about coin shortage, Brawl Stars doesn't seem to be taking a lot of action. That aside, I hope you liked the video, and I'll see you in the next one.